Okay, now that we have our slabs cut, we are ready to start assembling the box. The first two pieces we're going to use are the 4x4 inch. We're going to take two 4x4 inches. One is going to be the bottom and one is going to be a side. All right. Anytime you want to attach two pieces of clay together, you have to use what's called the score and slip method. The scoring means that you are scratching the surface, roughing it up. So what I'll do is I'll take the scratcher tool and I'm going to go in two directions. I'm going to go like this to begin with, and then I'll go in the other direction. I also am going to scratch where I want to attach the piece, which I'm going to attach the piece on the top of the bottom. So scratch here, go in two directions. That is the score part of slip and score. Slip means that you're basically making mud. And so the way that we're going to do this is you're going to take your paintbrush with water, you're going to wiggle it on top of your area that you just scored and on both sides. So I'm going to do it there. And I'm going to do it at the bottom of this one. Make it nice and wiggly, really, really goopy. You want it to be really, really muddy, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take these two pieces and you are going to press them together, okay? So I'm going to set this down, and what I want to do is take the top and I'm going to press gently, not so much that it collapses, but I'm going to press it onto the bottom. Okay, so let me turn this around so that you can see what it looks like from the side. All right, now at this point, what we want to do is take our modeling tool. I always get mine a little bit wet to begin with. That helps it to glide a little bit faster and a little bit easier. And you're going to start at the bottom and then press up. Okay, so let me turn this so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm starting at the bottom and I'm lifting and pressing up. The goal is to get rid of that seam so we no longer see the separation. Like here, we can see the seam. We want to make sure that that goes away and is blended into the sides. That helps to attach these two pieces together. So we've slip and scored. We have used the modeling tool to join the two pieces together. There's one more thing that we need to do, which is on the inside portion of this, we need to roll out a coil and then press the coil into the seam there. So you can take some of your extra clay. You want to take it and just roll it. You want to make sure that the clay is really, really moist. You don't want to use hard clay for this. You want to make it nice and soft. So keep spritzing your extra clay. And then what you'll do is you'll take the clay and you'll push it into the seam. Now, anytime you push on one side, you need to support it from the opposite side. So I'm going to have my other hand on the other side of this supporting that, that slab. Then I can take my needle tool, cut off that extra clay, keep that because we can use that in another area. Now, before I use the modeling tool or the molding tool to smooth it out, this is what it looks like. So again, what I'm going to do is take my modeling tool, make sure it's nice and wet so it'll glide really easily, and you want to make that coil go away. The reason we do this is it adds a lot of structural integrity to the box. The one thing that you have to be careful about is creating air bubbles. So make sure that you press it in, make it really, really nice and smooth, okay? Now, that's the first side that we have. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the smaller pieces that I cut, and I'm going to be putting it into this part right here, just like this. So this is what this will look like. So remember, anytime I want to attach clay, I need to score and slip. So I'm going to scratch right here. I'm also going to scratch the bottom of it, just like that. And then where I'm going to attach it, here and here, I also need to score and slip. Now I will continue this process all the way through until I have used up my other two pieces here. Remember, this last piece of the 4x4 inch template that we cut is for the lid. So we don't want to use this. We want to reserve that for the lid. So I'm going to add in my slip on both pieces. And then again, I will put it into position, and I'm going to press down, trying to press it on as firmly as I can. I'm also going to push from this side, making sure that those two pieces attach very well. Okay. So what I've got so far looks like this. This is what it looks from the other side. Now, in order to join these two pieces together, I need to take my modeling tool, get it wet, and I'm going to go in two directions this time. I'm going to start at the bottom and pull it upwards, getting rid of that seam completely. Go all the way across. It's okay if you have a tiny bit extra. We can always take the needle tool and cut that off. Okay. Now from this side, I need to pull in this direction. Take your fingers and smooth it. Now again, we are going to add the coil to the inside of this, but we have to add it in two locations this time. We have to add it here, and we have to add it here. Okay, now we're ready to put in the final side, which should fit in between these two things. Now it'll be a little bit of a tight squeeze because of having the coils in there, but it will fit. Okay, it will fit. So what you want to do is continue the process, but instead of just on two sides, this time we'll actually be slipping and scoring on three sides, on the piece itself and on the box. So when you use the modeling tool on this side, obviously you will also be pushing in three sides. Okay, we also have to do the coils on the inside here, and that gets a little bit tricky to do. And that's where using your modeling tool is absolutely necessary on there, because your fingers won't easily go in there. So roll out some more clay. Okay. Once you have your box built and you've smoothed out the insides and everything, you are going to want to flip it over and tap it just slightly on the surface. That's going to help us get a nice level top. Okay, it's going to bring all of that to the same height. So if you have any pieces that are sticking up just a little bit high, tapping it on top will help to bring them down and help to even them out. The final thing that we're going to do today, we're going to use the gift card to help smooth out the outside surface. So if you'll take your spray bottle and just spritz the side of it just a little bit, and then take the gift card on its side, usually starting at the bottom and just kind of pulling it up towards the top. It will help to give a nice, really, really smooth surface for you to start off with. Turn it. Do the same thing. So do that to, actually do it to all 5 sides. Okay, now your box is ready for adding on your decorative pieces on the outside.